Alright guys, y'all saw a picture of this sprayer and it was laid up against our seedling plow. So the story is the Hurricane Helene, it flooded our farm, and we're going to see if we can get this old boom sprayer, if we can get it fixed and running back again. We're going to tear into it and see if anything busted. We're going to put some new lines on it because they were old and dry rotted. The storm took the pump. We don't really know where it's at, so we're going to get a new one, see if we can get all the silt out of the tank, out of the lines, and hopefully y'all will stick around and see if we can get this thing fixed. One of the first things that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to check these spray tips. We're taking the line loose from the end of it and then all the way down through here. We're going to do that, and we're going to put new rubber hose. We're cutting it right here in the middle because it's just easier to get it off. So y'all can watch me get all this stuff off. There's little honey, and we'll see if we can get her fixed. Whenever we were getting that other side off, gosh, it was a pain. This thing sat in a field probably 20, I'd say even longer than that. I think they parked it in 98 or something. And so all these lines are dry rotted. All the fittings that I tried to get off were dry rotted. So hopefully we can get all this stuff fixed. There went one. We'll have to get us a new fitting there. So let's start on this next one. Get these old hose clamps off here. That's the only good thing about it. Metal hose clamps, and then we got metal spray tips. So I think at least the spray tips will be good if the nozzles ain't. We'll get us a good cut right here in the middle. And then hopefully this will pull off. And there's another one. Leroy was a whole lot better at this than me. Heck, I've already broke 2 off, and he got this one off without breaking it. So, heck, he might have to come do this. If you're anything like me, you're gonna lose stuff if you don't put stuff on with a lid. I got my First Form it says ignition right here. I just got it. The old cans, I keep them. I just put my duct tape on the top, label it, and then I just keep this with my project so I don't lose stuff, or that cat right there don't grab stuff off the top of it and take it somewhere and hide it. Let's see if this razor knife will work better. The razor does work if you use it right. Alright, let's see if we can get this baby off here. There we go. Alright, let's get the rest of this knocked out. Yeah, once you just put your little slid in there, it'll come right off. 2 hose clamps. I don't see no reason of buying new ones if you can keep these old ones and reuse them. I'll get y'all, show you a close-up of this silt. You can just see how much dirt's on there and stuff. That's all from the creek. Whenever it flooded, it washed all that silt and sprayed it on everything. It was in the cabin, in the office, in anything that it touched. This is one of the lines that I'm talking about. You can see where it wraps around, goes through, and then it goes under and goes to the front of the sprayer. This one was broke off, but you can see where it was, and it goes right through there into the front of the sprayer, and then the other one runs out and goes to this boom. And then it's a pretty simple, whenever you want to put that boom up, this is the chain that goes to it. You just put it on this little hook right here. And then whenever you want to lower it, you set the right link on this one and it'll be lowered and it'll be swung out. Well, I went home and ate some supper and talked to Dad and stuff, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and replace all these. If I'm going to rebuild it and go to all this trouble, might as well do it right and just get everything knocked out at once so I don't have to fight these things all the time. So I bought this pump off of a guy. He said that it'd free up. This was the first one that I ever bought, and it just never did. I should have just went ahead and bought a new one, but I didn't do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy a brand new one of these, not mess with it. So I'll have a brand new pump, brand new control valve, because these little fittings right here, I broke them off, and then you can see the inside's just a mess. And I'd say it's like that all inside there where it sets along. So we're gonna get a whole new one of them. We'll have all new lines. We'll have all new T-valves back here. And we'll be ready to go. I'm gonna paint this thing too. On this little middle section, the T that goes all the way to the front of the sprayer, it's on this second little section between the nozzles. So just gotta remember that so I'll know where to put it back. This is one of those lines that come from that control switch up there. I've been calling it a regulator, but I guess it's a control valve. I've just been coming in here and feeding this through. Getting it. And then I'm saving all my special hoses and stuff that I need to get measured. I'm saving them and putting them on the front of the sprayer. Alright, we're going to start taking this tank off. All these bolts are real rusty in there. So we're going to load her down with some PB Blaster. And we'll see if we can get her off here. There's one way to fix a bolt that stubborn. Y'all are about to see it. That's the way to do it right there. Well guys, let's see if we can get this baby off. Well, we've still got one more hose connected, so let's see if we can get this one off. I'm not sure how well it's going to sit on this chair. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. Alright, it's off. It's a dang mess under there. All of that's mud and rust. We'll get this baby cleaned up, and I'm gonna wire brush everything and I'm gonna repaint it. Let's see if we can get this thing broke loose. We got that other side off. It'd help if we went the right way. Don't you just love rusty bolts? Gosh, I'm not. I'm gonna taking these bolts. I think that was it right there. Come on, yeah. That thing's off there. Well, it's definitely looking a little bit different now. All our hoses are off. The good ones are up here that we need to measure. We got all this scraped off. The tank's over there. All our hoses back here off. We got the straps ready. We're just gonna have to wire brush it, and then we're ready to paint. Alrighty, let's start wire brushing. Well, here's what we've got done so far. This stuff's looking a whole lot better. We're gonna put some paint on it. If y'all have followed my channel for long, you know I love orange, Tennessee Volunteers. So we're gonna paint this baby orange. I've been getting a little bit, you can see kind of the difference right here. I've got this part of it and we hadn't got that part yet. So once we get this part and all the rest of it, we got to get all the arms and all the little fittings and stuff. Then we'll paint it orange, and the reason that we're doing all this is to kind of get all the surface rust off and make everything a smooth surface for the paint to stick to. I got me a little buddy, look. She just runs around with me. About 34 degrees in here right now. We got the fan on and we're getting her done. Well, I reckon that wire brush is done, ain't it? All right, it looks pretty good. Everything's real smooth, as you can see. It is ready for paint. We got all this cleaned up with the wire brush. We still got a little bit to do on the tank. I'm gonna wash it off and see if I can get some of that stuff off. And then I know I can get a bunch of this off. But we got all the floor cleaned up and I'm gonna head to the house for the night. Alright guys, so we're gonna start putting some of this stuff down. We'll spread it out. I got it cut to size, so I just don't want all that paint dripping all over the floor. Going for a ride, honey. We'll take it and we'll cut down the middle, see if it helps. I thought it was going to be a whole lot taller than that. Let's see if that's enough. Try to drag this back on. All right, I'm just gonna lay me another piece down. y'all ain't been watching long enough to know what my favorite color is, you can tell. We love orange. Tennessee orange, Kubota orange. If it's orange, it's fine with me. We're using this brush on paint, #1, because it was a whole lot cheaper than spray con. And you can kind of put it on a whole lot thicker with this brush. Where we were doing a brand new paint job, I figured that'd be the best way to do it. Just do it like this first time. Get a good bit of paint on it, and then whenever it needs touching up later on, which it will, we farm our equipment. We don't just look at it. We will paint it, just use touch-up paint. We just go down there to Tractor Supply and get the off-brand Kubota paint. And we just, whenever it gets a little scuff on it, we just take that and spray a little dab on it and get it fixed up. I'm trying to do better about my maintenance this year. I've been bad on my lawnmower. I've been bad on our farm equipment and everything else about maintenance and changing oil and being good about that. So hopefully that's one of my goals for this year, is to just do a little bit better on that and keep our stuff looking nice, because I feel like that makes a big impression on your customers no matter what you think. I'm just not sure how people paint every day. It's just, it's a little boring for me. It's cool to see whenever this thing transforms though, from old rusty green to nice pretty glossy orange. I've been putting this stuff on here real thick for this first coat, and then I'm gonna try to come back and smooth it up real good on that second coat and make it real nice. There might be some runs in it, but heck, this ain't no showpiece. We're gonna try to make a little money with it, and that's about it. I'm trying to get all this paint worked down in these holes where it's kind of cratered from all the dirt and chemicals and everything else that's set down in here over time. I'll tell y'all one thing, I'm ready to start planting in the field. Last year my favorite part was definitely the planting. I don't know what it was, but there's just something about getting out there and getting everything set out and just starting the growing season off, I guess. The fall and the winter, I don't really like when everything starts dying. My pa, he was the same way. And I can see why now. Once everything starts dying, it just gets so gloomy. And I always like the harvest part too, but that's during that sad time and everything's dying and you know that your season's about to come to an end. But usually by that time, you're about ready for your season to come to an end. You've been hard at it for weeks on end, months on end. It's about time for a break. It lets you recoup and just kind of get your love back for the time. If you was doing it all the time, you wouldn't love it as much as if it was just like it is, just kind of seasonal. This thing sure is a cleaning up nice though. I think I'm gonna fall in love with it once I get all these coats of paint on it and get it back together. We get things really rolling with this farm. I'm hoping we can with that corn maze. That's kind of what I've been banking on. I kind of want to get it really going where I can live off of it and support a family off of it, and then we might talk about quitting mowing, but until then I'd say I'll be mowing for a little while. This year I'm gonna downsize a little bit because it was just too much last year. Y'all, if you watched any of my videos last year, you'll see me just out there. Heck, we was up there till like 3 one morning, 4 one morning, and that just ain't good for you. And I couldn't couldn't do everybody's yard the way that I really like to do stuff. I'm real meticulous and I like stuff to be perfect. I like all my yards to be perfect. I don't like a weed to be out of place whenever I'm weed eating or mowing or whatever. But last year I let some stuff get by that I definitely shouldn't have. Nobody said anything, but I noticed it. And so I'm dropping a few yards this year so that I don't have to cut my quality. I'd rather have good quality and less yards because I don't like to give people bad work. That's one thing that I just can't really hardly stand to do. Alright guys, here's our last little bit for the night. It's supper time. I ain't had no supper. It's 12 o'clock. I'm hungry. I am about tired of painting. And so I am glad that this is the last little bit. I'm gonna save the booms for another day, and then I'll probably come up here tomorrow and do them booms. But once we get them done, it'll be time for a second coat, and then we'll be ready. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the second coat with this same stuff or if I'm just gonna do it with some spray paint. This looks like it's got it covered real good. I'll show y'all all around it once I get this done. But it's really looking good. Flip this thing over probably tomorrow once all this paint dries. We'll get the underside of everything. I'll get all the booms, and then it'll be ready once that dries for a second coat, and it'll be looking good.